The Atlanta Hawks. Not a team that I usually watch a lot, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of their commentary and not really a big fan of Trae Young's game as a whole for like majority of his career. But to be honest, this year looks better. They have made really good moves in this offseason, and they are going to be a decent basketball team. A couple of, main things. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, no longer a Minnesota Timberwolf, is now Atlanta Hawk. Really big move for them, especially for someone like Trae Young. I feel like Nickeil is going to do a lot of things good for Trae Young. Number one, being a defensive guard. For the extent of Trae Young's career, except obviously last season when they got a certain freak of a defender, who I will name in a moment. For the extent of Trae Young's career, they have not had a lot of guard defense. They have been one of the worst defenses in the league since Trae Young got there. They haven't really been able to produce a whole lot on the defensive side of the ball when it come to Trae Young being on that roster. So Nickeil is going to be absolutely huge for that. Kristaps Porzingis fills in their big man spot since, we now know that they've lost Clint Capella. Kristaps will fill that hole in. And I feel like as much as it probably sucks for Trae Young now not really having a lob threat, it will be interesting to see how Trae Young plays with a three-point shooting big. Because we are yet to see Trae Young with like a pure three-point shooting big man. We've never seen it. We don't know what it's going to look like. But honestly, only time will tell. But I have high hopes for it. I think it will actually make Trae Young a better player. It will get him into his float game a lot more. It will provide him more open space to attack the basket, which Trae Young, for the extent of his career, hasn't been amazing at. Obviously, we know how short Trae Young is, but he will be able to get to the ring a lot better because he's been dealing with Clint Capella for the last few years, and we know when you're in an action with Clint Capella, there is not a damn chance on this earth that Clint Capella is going to pop to the three-point line. His ass is running straight to the ring, and he's going to sit under that basket until you throw the ball up into his direction for him just to do one of these ones. With Kristaps Porzingis, however, there is a chance that you set that action up with Trae Young comes off the screen, Kristaps could be going that way. Kristaps could be going that way, or that way. You don't know where he's going to go. More than likely, it's not going to be at the ring because for the extent of Kristaps' career, he has not been, a ring attacking sort of person. But that's not the point. I think they're going to be a fun team next season. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is fun to watch. He had great moments for the Minnesota Timberwolves last playoffs. He is an amazing guard defender. He can shoot the hell out of the ball. And so can Kristaps. So there will be a lot of three-point shooting for Coach Quinn Snyder next season, which will be, for Trae Young, probably amazing to watch. You've got an absolute freak of I can't even talk. You've got an absolute freak of a defender in Dyson Daniels, who was the other name that I mentioned earlier, who is now one of the best defensive guards in the league, if not already the best. The amount of steals that man gets is like Wemby numbers in blocks. It just doesn't make any sense. Deflections, steals, turnovers, forced turnovers, blocks. He does it all. And I think he is the ideal match for someone like Trae Young. If Dyson Daniels can give you half of the offensive progress that Nickeil Alexander-Walker will be able to give them, they will be really happy at the shooting guard position. You can classify Dyson Daniels as a 3, as a 2. I don't know what you classify him as. I see him more as a 2 guard. Not an amazing scoring 2 guard, but a 2 guard nevertheless. Jalen Johnson will also be back from injury, and Jalen Johnson is a massive part of that team. He's athletic. He can grab rebounds. For his size at 6'8" or whatever it is a really decent playmaker. He can shoot the basketball. He's like, obviously I'm not going to compare goddamn Jalen Johnson to LeBron James, but like they both are similar in the aspects of that they can do literally everything on a basketball court. No matter what is asked of them, they can provide it to you. So it'll be interesting to see with Jalen Johnson back in this rotation as well, where they can sort of take the Hawks. But it looks really good. I'm not going to speak too soon because I don't know for absolute sure what's going to go on. But Trae Young might actually have a chance of going on a reasonable run this year. If I were to predict it, because, you know, I'm in the realm of predicting things for some stupid reason. All predicting things does on the internet make you look like an idiot, but they're going to make the playoffs, for starters. They're not going to make the play-in again this year and bomb out of the play-in. They are going to probably, I would say, a second round. That's my guess. A second round berth, I think, is a step in the right direction for the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young's years are quickly getting by him. It doesn't matter, you know, how many years we've spent. Trae Young, I'm pretty sure, is going into like year 6 of his career. He had the one conference finals berth a few years ago when he was, you know, the villain of Madison Square Garden and all that sort of stuff. But ever since then, they have been as hard stuck in the play-in seed as the Miami Heat. And they have not moved. At least the Miami Heat a couple of years ago made it all the way to the finals. The Atlanta Hawks have just like, all right, play-in time, let's lose. That's what it's been, unfortunately, for the last couple of years. And if they have managed to make it out, they've made it out as an 8 seed and they've gotten pummeled by the Celtics or the Bucks or the whatever team it was. I'm sorry, Hawks fans. It's just the truth. Like, it's what it's been. But I have positive thoughts for you guys this year. It is going to actually look really good in the A. Quavo might actually have something to celebrate. Quavo might actually have something to celebrate about this year and might have actually something to go and sit courtside to watch. Because you have made a couple of good moves. I said in my video yesterday, I briefly mentioned Luke Kennard being on the Grizzlies still. Turns out at the time of making this video, I have now realized that Luke Kennard is actually also an Atlanta Hawk. Don't know when that happened. I've tried to stay on top of Shams notifications as much as I can, but did not see any world where Luke Kennard made his way onto this roster. Signed as a free agent. You know, they obviously, someone like Luke Kennard is bouncing around on 1-year deals every which way. But I was pretty certain that he was on the Grizzlies still. So my apologies, Grizzly fans. You guys don't have the service of Luke Kennard anymore. But Atlanta, you've got all the space and the time with him. There's just, like, you look across the board at the moment, there's just shooting. You've got Garrison Matthews, who is, I mean, when he played for Houston a couple of years ago, that dude could shoot the ball. He had like a 20-game stretch where he was making 4 threes a game. The Atlanta Hawks, if I had to describe in one word this entire offseason, is 3. Like the word 3, because that's their team chemistry next year. They are going to shoot a hell of a lot of 3-point baskets. There is not going to be a lot of drives, and it would not surprise me if they are bottom 5 in drives to the basket next season, to be completely honest. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but as we know, in the NBA, it's a make or miss league. And when you're shooting deep range shots, it is a lot harder to make deep range shots than it is to go into the ring and shoot like a 5-foot floater. So we will see, what sort of success they have, but who knows? That's pretty much it. Atlanta, I haven't said this many good things about Atlanta Hawks in a very long time. So for me to get up here and to talk so positively on the Atlanta Hawks, it is a nice feeling because it is a good step in the right direction, especially with a Trae Young-led team, because Trae Young has tried his absolute best for the last 7 years or whatever it has been. And he's barely gotten any success, and it was starting to wear on him. He was starting to get put in trade rumors. What is the direction of Trae Young at the Atlanta Hawks? All of these sorts of things. So I hope this season Trae Young goes out and actually shows people what he is still capable of and show people that it was just the team that he was built around. It wasn't right for him. So we will see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching. That's another team down. I think we're like 8 teams in now. So we are quickly pumping them out, which is amazing. Like, the videos are flying. We're going really well. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this sort of stuff, like and subscribe. I will be back with another video tomorrow on... It's the Miami Heat's turn. So I just spoke about the Miami Heat and the direction of that franchise. I don't know what I'm going to say about Miami, but I will get there when I get to there. I've got 24 hours to work that out. So I will go do that now, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. I will see you very soon. Thank you guys.